Well, good morning, everybody. Another day in paradise. Happy to be back with you after Friday's unfortunate vacation. So, first things first, obviously got stopped out on my longs thanks to that beautiful move on Friday. And so I'm kind of starting this week a little bit fresh. So, I'm going to just kind of go over the levels I'm looking at and why. And I'm gonna try to do this pretty quick, and so I can get to the room because I miss you guys. I'm excited to come hang out. So um, let's just start with the macro charts as we usually do. So obviously on Friday you had that really big, just kind of downtrending day that took us deeply into our demand zone here. And so if we're looking at this zone, I just to simplify it, I don't have all the drawings on here, but really the most important and I think highest risk reward opportunity for kind of buying the dip in here is if we can get a push down to like, let's say 600 to 620. So kind of down into that box here. You can see obviously overnight we wicked into it. So today what I'm looking for, just intraday, is I want to see that overnight low trap. I want to see us kind of push below that overnight low and then recover with some speed and aggression. And that's going to kind of be my next long entry. So my portfolio itself, you'll see in the newsletter, I'll send you a picture. I did get that short trigger, and I'll tell you why when we look at volatility. So I did go into the weekend short, so it's basically just a stop out of the long at about 3,700. Once we kind of confirmed that open test drive on Friday that was bearish, and most of the day I didn't really do much. I was on vacation, but I did get that trigger at the end of the day, and so I am currently short right now. And like I said, I'll show you more in the newsletter. You can just see that position. But really here I'm just waiting for that opportunity to kind of close profits on most of those shorts and reestablish that long delta. I'm watching for that overnight low trap. 3620 to 3600 is kind of my sweet spot, and that's where I'll be looking to engage there. However, if we look at the day on an intraday basis, so I'm just going to flip to there. So before I do that real quick, you can just see this is the 4-hour chart. It's just a little more granular of what's going on. I really just think it all comes down to these demand zones that I say, like I said, 600 to 620 I think is the most important area. And we'll look more at this chart as the week develops. But I want to go to intraday because I think that's where a lot of our major levels come from today. So intraday here, we had that bearish open test drive. So if I split these up, you can see it. There we go. So you can see how we opened the day. We tried to kind of push above and we just sold off since then. And it's a really good area, I think. Kind of gives us a really good vantage point to engage from the short side. So if we look at this profile, this is Friday's profile, and I just combined the overnight session. So Friday's profile is one of those double distributions where you have that single in the middle, and the single not only represents a potential good resistance today. It's right near that overnight high, a little bit above it. It's right near the value area low for the year. So if I flip back to the macro chart real quick, you can see if we look at the profile for the entire year here, you look at this area here, this kind of corresponds to that single on the other chart. So I'm going to flip right back to it. And so we have a few things going on. We have that open test drive to trade off of. I'm watching this price, by the way, for the overnight low trap as we speak. You have that bearish open test drive to trade around. You have that macro value area low near the top there. And I think if we do start getting pushes up into there, the first one we can sell. But we want to be really careful because if we do break above that, we're probably going to go and try to explore, again, time and volume above, let's say the single. This is a naked POC, so somewhere around here we start building time and volume. We're probably going to pretty quickly go toward that 3700 area. But as long as we have that open test drive, as long as we have everything kind of showing us that it's going to be we'll say a consolidation down day until that changes. We're kind of looking to fade the edges. So like I said, I'm looking for that overnight low trap for some long delta. And then I will fade the first time price tries to revisit the upside here if it does. So let me just look at here on the candlestick charts. So once again, I'm going to flip back to our macro chart. So in terms of candlesticks, Definitely bearish prior day. So we have that one time framing lower look. And for the Ernie chart, this is actually one of those 2-2. We're showing a 2-2 bearish continuation so far on the day. So again, that's just adding to the information about the strength of that overnight high area. It's unlikely that bulls are going to be able to completely unwind it, even though we are, or I am, looking to engage long here. It's just kind of fading the edges. It's going to take a little bit of strength, to say the least, for the bulls to completely push us above that overnight high and start to squeeze us back up. So it's really, I think we're looking for like that consolidation, engaging in the long side, but also engaging the short side. It should be a good day for the tranche trade and a good day for those iron condors. You saw it overnight. The inventory is pretty neutral. So flip back once more. So you're getting that accumulation type look, but you're still getting a lot of supply, just kind of hanging out here, and the bears are still laying into price. So our pivot today, all SPX terms, I'm looking at 3640. So 3645 on ES here might be a decent proxy as well with that naked POC. I'm just kind of watching how we treat this area for the rest of the day. And if we get above there, again, it's, you don't really want to engage around the POC. It's that choppy, more difficult risk reward trading, obviously, unless you're doing iron fly. But if we do start to build time and volume there, I'll be setting up those short trades to kind of fade the top side. So like I said, we're just fading the edges, and I'm just fading the edges and hoping that we get kind of some nice consolidation type look. And like I said, if we can get both sides today, that'd be really nice. And let's see, besides that, okay, good. So I covered the price, yes, SPX. Now we're going to talk about my favorite chart of the day. And it's so important today that I'm going to, well, first I'm going to make sure I'm on the right screen. I am on the right screen. I'm going to maximize this so we can see what's going on. Because this is a chart that triggered me into that short on Friday. And we'll talk about why. So this line here, this is that downward trend line from the top of the VIX futures price so far. As you can see on Friday, we broke above it, and we're kind of continuing that action, moving toward this high. We haven't quite hit the high, so we haven't quite double topped, we haven't quite gotten through it, but as long as price is above this line, I'm going to be carrying those short deltas in my portfolio. Nothing crazy, because like I keep saying, I think that demand zone is pretty important that we're kind of trying to traverse right now, but we got to just listen to the tape, and the tape's telling us to stay short above this green line here. A good price level for that is about 31. And yeah, so again, for that overnight low potential trap trade, um, I'm going to take that in the 0DT cycle, but I will be carrying these short deltas in with futures and in my SPY position as long as we're above here. Again, I'll show you that in the newsletter, but this VIX chart is going to tell the tale. It always does. This is probably my favorite chart. It's ironically super responsive to trend lines, not necessarily to the tick, but the behavior around them has just been super informative, and it continues to do so. So we'll watch what happens as we near this high, watch what happens as we near the overnight low trap, and I'm going to come join you guys in the room, and hopefully we'll have an exciting day of trading. So like I said, I'll fill all the missing pieces in on the position level in the newsletter, and besides that, I'll see you guys soon.